what's up guys, it's Darius, and this is my review of the Samsung Gear S3 3 months after its release. The most important thing about a watch is how it looks. The Gear S3 comes in 2 iterations, Classic and Frontier. Both of them are identical and only differ in terms of design. You can however get the Frontier with LTE support. The Frontier has more of a rugged sporty look, while the Classic looks more traditional. I have the latter and it looks great. It can definitely be mistaken for a regular watch and I really like that. I don't want to have a small phone strapped to my wrist, but rather a stylish watch that happens to be smart. It comes with 2 leather straps, one in S and one in L, but the cool thing is that they're not proprietary, which means you can use your own bands. One thing you may have noticed is that the watch is pretty large and thick. It has a 46mm diameter and is 12.9mm thick. For comparison, here's my watch. This might be great if you have large wrists, but I definitely don't, so it's not optimal for me. If you're like me, then consider picking up the Gear S2, which is very similar to the S3, just smaller. Also, I found it hard to fit under a tight sleeve because it's so thick. Now, durability is very good. It is made from stainless steel and everything is solid, and it will last you a while. The screen is covered in Gorilla Glass, and so far I haven't got any scratches on it, so that's good. It is also IP68 certified, so you don't have to worry about it getting wet. The only bad thing about the build is the bezel, which is pretty loose, and I'll come back to that later. There are multiple ways of interacting with the watch. First is of course through touch. It also has 2 buttons on the sides. One is for going back, and the other is for opening your app launcher and going back to the home screen. Additionally, there's voice. It has a speaker and a mic built in, which means you can control it via S-Voice, you can reply to texts, you can give it commands, and yes, you can even make calls with it. It is still S-Voice, so not that great, and I would have preferred Google Voice, but it mostly does what you want it to. It understood me pretty well, and calls sounded surprisingly good, but there's still the obvious issue of looking ridiculous when talking to your watch. The most innovative way of interacting with the watch is definitely the turning bezel. With such a small screen, you don't want your fingers covering it, so turning bezel makes a lot of sense. It is completely integrated in the software, and basically everywhere you would scroll or swipe, you can use the bezel. It is really practical. The bezel is textured and it's very easy to differentiate between it and the rest of the watch. Like I said, mine is a little loose, and it is kind of annoying, but it could also be that it's just an issue with my unit. The display is a completely circular 1.3-inch Super AMOLED panel with a resolution of 360x360. It looks nice and sharp and it gets fairly bright, so it's usable outdoors. Software-wise, it runs Tizen instead of Android Wear, and paired with very good specs, it runs very fluidly. It works with all Android devices and has limited support with iOS ones. The software has been created for round displays and therefore it works really well in the S3. It is very customizable with interchangeable watch faces, widgets, etc. It comes with features like Raise to Wake, Samsung Pay, and many more. And there's also a heart rate monitor on the bottom for your exercise tracking. It generally works well, but sometimes it can take more than one try. The biggest issue I had with the software is the limited app support and S-Voice. I really wish it had some form of Google Voice. Like I said, S-Voice does the job, but TalkBack is still horrible, and the apps which are available are nice, but very limited. Battery life is good. For me, a smartwatch has to at least outlast my smartphone, and it does. I got about 2.5 days of regular usage, which is good, but when I turned the always on screen feature on, I sadly only got about 1 day of usage. There's also a power saving mode, which makes everything black and white, and extends the battery life. It charges wirelessly, with the included cradle, but you can technically use any wireless charger. Finding the right placement can be a little hard, but it works. Overall, I'd say the Gear S3 is a great smartwatch. Yes, it is fairly expensive, but it looks great, and the only real downside is the lack of apps. For me, it is too big. If you feel the same, or you want to save some money, then get the Gear S2, which is smaller and very similar to the S3. If you want to buy either of the two, I'll have a link down below. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, comment down below if you have any feedback, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. See you in the next one, bye!